Vladimir Putin has invaded Ukraine, and it is now upon all of us as global democracies to unite and make sure that he fails. Like a boa constructor, he has encircled the country, essentially, with troops on nearly all sides. But what we saw on this trip was that united through sanctions, travel restrictions, blocking a pipeline, that we can be a bigger boa constrictor that puts pressure on Putin and makes sure that he fails. We also saw on center stage that U.S. leadership in Europe with NATO is back. And it was truly a privilege to see the way that our speaker was received in Israel at the security conference where she spoke and was a panelist, and in the United Kingdom. Also, we saw Secretary Blinken and Vice President Harris address the security conference to show our resolve, our leadership on the world stage, to first seek diplomacy, and then once that has failed through Russia's actions, to unite the world, not just within Europe, but we're seeing alliances outside of Europe seek to make sure that Vladimir Putin fails. And we will continue to do that, and we must also here at home build a sentiment among the American people that they understand why it's so important that we hold Russia accountable. But I was also struck when we met with the labor leader in London and we met with the Prime Minister in London that they were absolutely aligned in making sure that Putin failed, despite all of their differences within the country. And there are a lot of differences there, just as there are differences here. In contrast to what we have seen here at home, the two parties there are aligned, and that must also be the case here in America. And finally, there are a lot of experiences I'll never forget on this trip, but one evening, Congressman Gallego and Moulton and I shared a meal with a young member of the Ukrainian Rada. She told us that at a young age she ran for her parliament, believed in her country, joined President Zelensky's party, and wanted to make sure that what had happened in 2014 would not happen again. The three of us, who had also at one point in our careers been young public servants, certainly saw ourselves in her and told her that we will go home and make sure that our constituents see themselves in Ukrainians. And you can't help but talk to somebody who still believes that their country has a right to sovereignty and ask the question, what is our democracy worth if we're not able and willing to stand against an invasion of another democracy? And that was what was on display in every country that we went to. And now, here at home, that's the leadership we must show to unite ourselves as a country and also to unite our alliances across the globe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I know that you all had individual meetings with some people who are very courageous within Ukraine.